May 1st here in Southern Ontario, Canada. I hope that phone hasn't flipped around again. I apologize. You'd think I'd be smart enough to figure it out by now, but apparently I'm not. So, where do the boots on the ground police officers here in Canada stand with, I'll just say the fact that the regime of Trudeau works for the WEF, right? Well, I tried to find out what the starting wage was and the average wage of a police officer here in Canada, and it varies quite a bit. We have city police, municipal police, 2 of the provinces have provincial police, and then we have the federal RCMP police. Okay, so no 2 sites are in agreement, but by and large the figures are pretty high for the average wage salary over the year. I have figures of 95,000, 115,000, 97,000 per annum. The one site said as of April 2023, the median wage $95,474. And then we have entry level figures starting at 55,000. Well, it's all over the map. Sorry, I can't just average it out, but they're getting up there, right? And their starting wage is pretty good. Which brings me to my point. I also tried to find the average starting age of a police officer in Canada. I couldn't pin that one down, but most police forces is eligible to enter at 18 years of age. Apply, I should say. So let's kind of look at some hypotheticals. At 24 years of age, a young police officer can be doing, pretty well for himself, really, getting a good wage. And I have no problem with that. Don't take me wrong. They have an unenviable job in many senses. And we need them. This defund the police concept, I'm glad we've thrown that out, at least for the interim. Well, except for Rachel Notley in Alberta, but, well, okay. So anyways, again, our hypothetical 24-year-old police officer, he's making more money than he'd be apt to. If he'd have gone to school for 6 years, post-secondary education, he'd have a considerable student loan debt, whatever. It's a good career financially, job security if you don't get goofed up. Again, I have no problem with their salaries. But here's the thing. Most of them get married, start a family. They can, hence have a mortgage and an income. And a mortgage, should they choose to start a family, all that business. Paying more money than they can easily replace. They can't just quit and go somewhere else and make the same money. And they kind of painted themselves into a little bit of a corner. And something I know from past experience, I'm not going to explain how, is I don't know if this holds true for every police force at whatever level in the country, but I'm talking about a specific city. At the time, they had their own credit union for the police. And they could get in debt further than what they would normally, even if, let's say, their medium starting salary was $50,000, from what I saw here today. A normal bank would then extend a credit level of such and such. Well, the policeman's credit union will extend them even further, which paints them even into a further financial corner. If they were to quit, not only can they not replace that salary readily, but they can't support and they can't stay with the credit union because they're not a police officer anymore. They can't stay with the policeman's credit union. I should clarify that. So to leave their job and move creates some real financial, incentive to remain a police officer. So, as I said in the last video, we saw in Ottawa that I would say by and large the police supported, boots on the ground level police supported the intent of the protest, that being government overreach. And we see Eva Langerbroek with Jordan Peterson saying the same thing in Ottawa, or in Holland, with the police boots on the ground being in support of the farmers' protest. So, our poor police officer here in Canada, I'll just say regular average police officer, again, no offense meant, has painted himself into a financial corner. Excuse me. He may well be aware that the brass above him is, I'll say, kowtowing to the federal regime, the federal government, I'm sorry, and by extension, the WEF. But how does he get out of the corner he's painted into? Anyways, that was my point. Please hit the like button, guys. You know, all that business. Thanks for supporting the channel. And, well, that's that.